Every day you wake up, you're faced with two choices. Either you command your day or you let the chaos command you. And too many women are waking up already defeated. They open their eyes, reach for that phone, and start scrolling through a highlight reel of other people's lives, other people's opinions, other people's noise. And what happens? Before they even get out of bed, they've lost their rhythm. They've handed their peace over to the world without even realizing it. That's not how a powerful woman moves. That's not how a focused, driven you woman starts her morning. Your day doesn't begin when the alarm goes off. It begins when you decide to rise with purpose. The world is loud, the world is messy, but your soul craves order. And when you start your day in alignment, you start your day in control. I'm not talking about having a perfect routine with 5 alarms, 10 affirmations, and green juice waiting on the counter. I'm talking about waking up with the mindset that you are not available for anything that doesn't serve your peace, your goals, or your purpose. That decision alone separates average from elevated. It's not about the hustle. It's about the intention. You don't hustle to prove your worth. You move with discipline because you already know your worth. And the way you begin your day is the clearest reflection of that self-worth. If you wake up and instantly dive into the stress of yesterday, the weight of responsibilities, or the ache of unhealed wounds, then you carry all that baggage with you. You've got to stop letting your past be the architect of your present. Every sunrise is a chance to reset, to realign, to redirect your energy toward the woman you are becoming. But that only happens when you stop reacting and start commanding. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need a 10-year plan. You just need to meet yourself in the mirror every morning and say, "Today, I walk with purpose." That small habit rewires your spirit. That small commitment changes the tone of your entire life. Too many women are surviving their mornings. You're rushing out of bed, running late, stressed out, chasing time instead of owning it. And the truth is, if your mornings are messy, your mindset will follow. Chaos outside creates chaos inside, and that's how you end up forgetting who you are. You start shrinking, dimming, settling, all because you never gave yourself a moment of power before the world came knocking. What you need is not more time. What you need is more clarity. 5 minutes of stillness in the morning can do more for your life than 5 hours of overthinking at night. That's how champions move. That's how queens rise. They start by sitting still, claiming peace, and building energy before spending it. The woman you're trying to become can't grow in clutter. She needs space to breathe, to hear her own voice, to feel grounded before she starts pouring into everyone else. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't win from a wounded place. Every day you wake up with breath in your lungs, you've got a shot to do something different, something better, something bold. But the first thing you do when your eyes open either builds that fire or puts it out. And you know what? You deserve better than a life that runs on autopilot. You deserve a life that responds to your power, not your panic. Nobody is coming to rearrange your mornings for you. Nobody is going to knock on your door and say, "Let's build a powerful routine together." That's on you. That's your responsibility. That's your job as a woman who is no longer willing to settle for mediocre energy. If your mornings are full of distraction, you will walk into your day with confusion. If your mornings are filled with gratitude, intention, and clarity, you will step into your power like you were born to do. Because you were, there is no such thing as a small habit when that habit determines the direction of your life. The way you start is the way you carry yourself, and the way you carry yourself is the way the world responds. If you want different, you have to move different. If you want more peace, you have to protect the first moments of your day like they are sacred, because they are. Those first few minutes, they're your foundation. They're your fortress. They're the quiet before the storm, the breath before the breakthrough, and only you can decide what those minutes will mean. The woman who starts her day in command will never have to chase validation, approval, or peace, because she already owns it. Every day you get up and walk into a world full of demands, text messages, work stress, family issues, relationships, people needing, pulling, asking, draining. And if you're not careful, you'll hand over your energy to people who didn't earn it, people who don't value it, and people who don't know what to do with it. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. It's how you keep your spirit whole in a world that will eat away at it if you let it. You have to start treating your energy like it's a currency, because it is. It's more valuable than money, more powerful than beauty, and more essential than status. Energy is what determines whether your day flows or crashes, whether you show up full or empty, whether you inspire or implode. A woman who doesn't protect her energy will wake up tired and go to bed bitter. She'll carry the weight of other people's problems and wonder why she's so heavy. She'll answer calls she didn't want to take, attend events she didn't want to be at, and entertain conversations that left her feeling drained. And you know what? That stops today. Because from this moment on, you have to start asking yourself, is this person feeding my fire or dimming my flame? You owe it to yourself to stop being the emotional landfill for everybody else's mess. Some people only come to you because they know you'll listen, not because they respect your time or your energy. They don't want healing. They want to dump, complain, and unload their storm on you so they can feel light and you're the one carrying the cloud. Every woman must develop the strength to walk away from anything that makes her feel smaller. It's not cruelty, it's clarity. If someone gets offended because you chose peace over pleasing them, let them. Let them talk, let them twist it, let them misunderstand. You weren't born to be everybody's comfort zone. You were born to rise, to lead, to shine, and that means sometimes you gotta close the door without guilt. You have to ignore that text. Let that phone ring, cancel that lunch, end that conversation. Not because you're rude, but because you're wise. Wisdom teaches you that time and energy are two things you never get back. So who gets a piece of you today better be someone who deserves it. There are people in your life right now who don't clap when you win. People who secretly hope you shrink so they don't feel small. People who love the version of you that struggles and gets quiet. But the moment you start saying no, the moment you stop answering every call, the moment you start showing up for yourself, the moment you say, I'm tired of being used as a free therapist, a backup plan, an emotional sponge, they get uncomfortable. Good, let them, because protecting your energy exposes the real ones and filters out the fake ones. Don't explain it. Don't justify it. Don't sugarcoat it. Just do it. You need to build rituals around your peace. That means starting your day with silence before noise. That means choosing not to respond to every crisis like it's your job to fix it. That means having boundaries that make people uncomfortable and keeping them anyway. That means recognizing when your soul is agitated and choosing stillness instead of performance. Stop proving, stop pleasing, start preserving. You cannot save the world if you are empty. You cannot uplift others if you are exhausted. You cannot show up in full light if you are spiritually bankrupt. There's power in learning to walk away, power in disconnecting from conversations that go nowhere, power in saying, this drains me, I'm done, power in choosing to go to bed instead of engaging in a fight, power in not responding to that message, power in keeping your peace instead of proving your point. And no, not everyone will like it, but you don't exist to be liked. You exist to be whole. When you protect your energy, you reclaim your life. You walk taller, you laugh deeper, you love stronger, because you're not operating from depletion. You're living from overflow, and that right there is the kind of woman the world can't break. Every morning, before the world gets a chance to tell you who you are, you better beat it to the punch. Before the opinions, before the emails, before the pressure, before the mirror starts reflecting every insecurity you've ever collected, you need to talk to yourself, not just in your head, not just in passing, but face to face. Stand there, look yourself dead in the eye, and speak what you want to be true. Because if you don't speak life into yourself, the world will speak doubt. If you don't call yourself beautiful, strong, capable, chosen, then someone else will label you with whatever fits their agenda. It might feel silly at first, standing there in the quiet, telling yourself things like you are enough, or you deserve love, or you've got this. You might even whisper it at first, unsure if you believe it. But I'm telling you right now, say it anyway, speak it until you start to believe it. Speak it until your posture changes. Speak it until your eyes stop flinching at your own reflection. Speak it until that voice inside of you that used to whisper fear starts screaming faith. The thing is, confidence isn't magic. It's not some mysterious glow that shows up on your best days. It's not tied to your weight, your job, your past, or who texted you back last night. Confidence is built, one brick at a time, and your words are the mortar. You don't get to walk out into the world every day and expect peace if all you've given yourself is silence. You don't get to face challenges like a warrior if the only person you've been battling is yourself. You can't expect the world to respect you if your own mouth is disrespecting you before breakfast. Too many women have grown up being told to be humble, to be soft, to not take up too much space. And while grace is beautiful, there is nothing wrong with owning your greatness. There is nothing wrong with reminding yourself that you are powerful, that you are allowed to dream big, and that you do not need permission to take control of your life. You've got to become your own hype woman, your own coach, your own biggest fan. Because the truth is, some days you'll be the only one clapping for you. Some days nobody's going to check in, nobody's going to reassure you, and that's when your words become your anchor. Look in that mirror and don't just comment on what you see. Speak into who you're becoming. Even if you feel broken, even if your heart is heavy, even if yesterday wasn't your best moment, you still get to speak strength over your life. Say, I'm healing. Say, I am learning. Say, this pain will not define me, because what you declare has power. Life and death are in the tongue, and when you speak love, speak hope, speak purpose, you breathe life back into your own soul. And here's the thing, nobody can do this for you. No man, no friend, no motivational video, no stranger on the internet can replace the voice you carry inside of you. If that voice is filled with criticism, shame, and doubt, then guess what? That becomes your atmosphere. But if that voice is bold, kind, and unshaken, that becomes your armor. This is not just self-love talk. This is war strategy, because life will throw hits and people will betray you and opportunities will slip through your fingers. But if you still believe in you, nothing can keep you down for long. You don't need to have it all figured out to start speaking like a woman who's on her way. You don't need perfect circumstances. You need intention. You need discipline. You need 5 minutes in the mirror speaking like your life depends on it. Because one day, it just might, your words build the woman you see tomorrow. So, speak with the power of the woman you're becoming. Speak with the fire of the woman who refuses to be silenced by failure, heartbreak, or fear. Speak and keep speaking until your reflection starts to look like victory. Every single day you wake up is another opportunity to get better. I don't care what yesterday looked like. Maybe you cried yourself to sleep. Maybe you felt overlooked, underestimated, or ignored. But today is here. And as long as you're breathing, you are not done. You don't have to wait for January 1st to change your life. You don't have to wait for a heartbreak, a betrayal, a crisis, or some dramatic rock bottom moment to wake up and grow. Growth is not reserved for pain. It's available to you every single day if you decide to show up and upgrade something. A woman who understands her power knows that every small improvement counts. You don't have to leap a mountain in one day. You just have to be better than the woman you were yesterday. A little wiser, a little stronger, a little more focused, a little less available to nonsense. That's it. That's how you build an empire. One small brick at a time. And those bricks, they're made of choices. You choose what thoughts to believe. You choose what food to put in your body. You choose who you respond to and who you let go unanswered. Every little choice is either building your future or dragging you back into the same mess you're trying to outgrow. You can't level up your life while clinging to low-level habits. You say you want more peace. Then stop entertaining drama. You say you want to be more confident. Then stop speaking to yourself like you're a failure. You say you want to feel more valuable. Then stop chasing people who don't see your worth. It's time to upgrade. That doesn't mean you have to change everything overnight. It means you have to be committed to small shifts that compound into greatness. You've got to start treating your life like it matters, because it does. Upgrading doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be flashy. It can be simple. Maybe you make your bed for the first time in weeks. Maybe you go for a walk instead of scrolling for hours. Maybe you put on a red lip, not because you're going anywhere, but because you're reminding yourself you still got it. Maybe you unfollow 10 accounts that make you feel like you're not enough. That's an upgrade. Maybe you sit in silence for 5 minutes before reaching for your phone. That's an upgrade. Maybe you say no to something that doesn't align with your goals. That's an upgrade. Every time you choose your growth over your comfort, you evolve. Every time you choose purpose over distraction, you win. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, but you owe it to yourself to stop shrinking. You owe it to yourself to stop accepting the bare minimum from others and from yourself. You owe it to the version of you who prayed for the life you have now. And you owe it to the future version of you who's waiting to walk in rooms you haven't even imagined yet. You weren't put on this earth to stay stagnant. You weren't built to settle. You were born to rise, but rising takes work. It takes intention. It takes discipline. And yes, it takes courage. It's easier to stay in the routine, to coast, to do what you've always done. But easy never changed a life. Easy never made a queen. You want more, start acting like it. Show up for yourself even on the days you don't feel like it. Especially on those days, that's when it counts the most. When you treat every day like it's a new chance to upgrade, something in you changes. You stop waiting for permission. You stop seeking validation. You stop blaming everyone else for where you are. You realize you've always had the power. The question is, what will you do with it today? Will you let this day pass like the last one? Or will you invest in the woman you're becoming? Because here's the truth. No one's coming to hand you your dream life. You have to build it, and you build it one upgraded decision at a time. Every day you wake up is a chance to command your life, not just survive it. But let me ask you something. What's the very first thing you do when your eyes open? Is it checking your phone, scrolling through other people's lives, soaking in bad news, reading texts that stress you out? Because if that's how you start your day, then you've already given your power away before your feet hit the floor. A woman who wants to build a better life doesn't start her day with chaos. She starts it with command. She owns her morning before the world has a chance to mess with it. See, the way you begin your day is the way your day will treat you. You think it's just another morning, but your future is quietly being shaped in the first few minutes after waking up. If you start reactive, you stay reactive. But when you take control from the jump, you move different. You think different, you respond different, and the world starts responding to you different. That's no accident, that's the fruit of intention. You weren't created to chase noise. You weren't designed to wake up and serve distractions. You were built with purpose, and that purpose demands clarity. So why are you letting chaos be the first thing that greets you in the morning? Your phone is not your priority. Social media is not your assignment. The group chat is not your source of peace. Stop reaching for things that drain you before you've even centered yourself. Start reaching for silence, for stillness, for power. A woman who respects herself doesn't just stumble into her day. She commands it. She sets the tone. She grounds herself in gratitude, not gossip. She focuses her mind on what she can control, instead of letting her spirit be tossed around by what she can't. That might mean getting up 30 minutes earlier than usual. That might mean praying, it might mean journaling, it might mean sitting quietly with your coffee and just breathing, thanking God for another shot at this thing called life. But whatever it is for you, make it sacred. Make it non-negotiable, and no, it's not going to feel easy at first. You've been conditioned to survive mornings, not thrive in them. You've trained yourself to wake up exhausted, already anxious, already chasing, already behind. But that version of life is not your destiny. You're not behind. You've just been distracted. You're not broken. You've just been busy answering to everyone else's urgency. But now, it's time to answer to your own calling. You've got dreams that don't tolerate delay. You've got healing that doesn't happen when you rush. You've got a future that's too expensive to waste on sloppy mornings. You owe it to yourself to be intentional. To wake up with purpose, not panic. To step into each day like you're building a legacy. Because you are, and don't you dare downplay that. You know what kind of woman gets respected in rooms, even before she speaks. The kind that walks in like she knows who she is. That level of confidence doesn't come from makeup, money, or followers. It comes from alignment. It comes from knowing that long before anyone else decided who you were, you already did. That starts in the morning. That starts when you stop handing over your peace to a device, to a headline, to a man who couldn't even call you back. No more starting your day on someone else's terms. This is your life, your energy, your rules, and let me tell you something real. If you don't take the wheel of your own morning, you can't complain about where the day takes you. If you don't wake up and command your peace, somebody else will come and steal it, one notification at a time. You can't keep letting your emotions be dictated by the digital noise. You're better than that. You're stronger than that. You've cried enough over things that didn't deserve your tears. Now it's time to rise for things that do deserve your strength. Start small if you have to. 5 minutes of silence, a sticky note with affirmations, a walk outside instead of doom. Scrolling, but make the shift, because the woman you're becoming doesn't beg for peace. She builds it daily. She doesn't wait for the world to give her space. She claims it before the sun rises. That's how a queen moves. And that's who you are when you start your day in command.